Welcome to our channel. We are Caitlin and Patrick, two adventure seekers that recently sold all of our belongings to fulfill our lifelong dream of living sustainably. We purchased 15 acres of raw land in the mountains of East Tennessee. Since moving to our property, we have installed our solar system for all of our power needs and our rainwater catchment system for all of our water needs. Join us as we continue to build out our off-grid homestead in the mountains and navigate this adventure we call life. Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. So we have a very exciting video today. Ecoworthy sent us their 400 watt windmill, and we're going to be putting that together in today's episode. So thank you to Ecoworthy for supplying the windmill for us here. We're going to do a quick unboxing and then we will start getting it set up here shortly. Pretty excited about this unit. Of course, we do have, solar panels, but unfortunately the sun doesn't shine every single day here as much as we would like it to. But yeah, we are really excited about this product, and for the main reason is that we do get some pretty crazy winds here. I'll drop some videos right now that you guys can see how insane the wind can be here. So this is just going to be a really good source of basically auxiliary power on those days where it may not be that sunny, but it is really windy. One of the unique features of this product is the startup time. I believe it's less than 5 mile an hour winds that it actually starts generating power, which most windmills it's a little bit more than that. So pretty excited about that because 5 mile per hour winds are kind of a daily thing here, I would say. We recently had some crazy windstorms that were up to, I think, almost 50 miles an hour. So we could have been generating some really good power at that time, but very excited to get this up. The other really cool part about this is obviously it doesn't have to be daylight for it to work. So a lot of times when we get gnarly windstorms, it is in the evening after the sun's gone down. 400 watts may not seem like a whole lot of power, but honestly for us at any given time, we're not really even pulling 400 watts of power. So even if we were only get half of that, about 200 watts, that would basically make us break even and we wouldn't have to pull from our battery bank. So pretty excited to get this together. I'm gonna put it together here real quick. I kind of got our pole put up. So this is just the windmill. It does not come with a pole, so you'd have to source that yourself. So I've actually been working on that recently. I'll show you guys some clips from that, but basically we have a couple of 10-foot poles that we connected, and they were a little rusty, so I went ahead and sanded them some and painted them with Rust-Oleum so we wouldn't have to worry about them rusting out anytime soon. But yeah, we're very excited about this. Again, thank you to Ecoworthy. We're going to get this set up. We'll put a link in the description for this exact windmill. And if you guys have any questions about it, please feel free to reach out. Thanks. As you can see, we've already opened the box a little bit, but that was just to make sure everything was here. So we have our user manual here, which we will definitely need that. A little bit of styrofoam. Pretty good sized cable. I think it said it was like 29 feet, which we won't need quite that much. A little bit of hardware. Oops. This is what's called the dump load. So basically when our batteries are topped off and there's still power coming through the wind, because obviously we can't stop the wind just because our batteries are topped off, this will actually absorb that extra energy instead of pushing into the battery when it's not safe for it to. So that'll be essential. This is the charge controller and manual here. So pretty heavy duty charge controller. It's made out of all metal, which was nice to see. You can actually plug a couple of solar panels into this as well if you'd like. We don't have any extra at the moment, but if we ever need to, we've got that option, which is great. All right, and now we're getting to the windmill itself. So some heavy duty, I'm guessing plastic, but really nice heavy duty. Here everything's packaged in styrofoam really nicely, so no damage there. So this bit, I'm going to move this onto the ground. Then you have the windmill itself. So it's pretty heavy. Good quality, all metal. Should be fairly easy to put together, which is what I'm going to do next after I look at the instructions. All right, the next step is going to be connecting the wires. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that real quick. All right, so move the setup over here. Went ahead and ran our wire through our pole. This is just some metal conduit, basically, that we got from Home Depot. Get this freed up. Like I said, it was a little bit rusty on the outside, so we went ahead and just kind of cleaned it up and painted it a little bit so it lasts longer, hopefully. So the nice thing about these is, yes, they are different colors, but all of these actually just go to any of these here. And the way we are going to be connecting these is just these insulated disconnects. That way, if we ever need to take it down and service it for any reason, it will be much easier to take apart and not having to cut or resplice wires. Just think it'll give us a little bit more peace of mind down the road. Get all of these the same on one side. And then we'll just make sure we tape them pretty good with electrical tape so they don't end up falling out or anything like that. Alright, so we're going to be attaching this to the side of our shed here that has all of our solar equipment. So we're going to use a plumb bob from where we want it to be to the ground so we know where to dig, so we have a little extra security. And we're also going to be attaching the pole to our ground rod as well in case it gets struck by lightning. So, which is also on this side, which will help a lot. But we're going to try to mark a good hole right now to get started. Alright, so now Pat is trying to get the bolts on the top of the conduit here.
Full disclosure, these are not the bolts that are supplied from the manufacturer. So one of the things that we ran into that's a challenge with this apparatus, if you want to call it, is that it attaches via a flange system, and it comes with like a spacer flange that goes with it, and it comes with bolts, but we couldn't figure out how to attach it to an actual pole that was rigid enough to support this kind of weight.
Well, you're supposed to weld it, but we don't own a welder, nor do we know how to weld, so we just kind of came up with a way to do it ourselves.
Yeah. So these are grade 8 automotive bolts, meaning they are structural steel with lock washers, and they conveniently came in black. So We had to drill out this flange a little bit to fit some slightly smaller bolts, but of a higher grade strength. So they should do the trick.
They're kind of a pain to get on, but they're definitely not going to go anywhere once they're on. They're never coming off.
Literally.
While Pat's been working on that, I've been working on our ground rod situation. So I sanded off all of the paint here, or most of it, the paint that came on the pole, and then we went ahead and attached the, I believe it's 6-gauge ground wire, so that once we get it in the ground, if we can't reach onto this point, it's already attached. So we are all set to go on that. Also, where our cable is coming through at the midway point, it's coming through this little 3-way junction. We've gone ahead and converted it to some electrical conduit, and then we're going to run some electrical flex conduit into the building from there, so you can kind of see what's going on there. I haven't glued this yet. We actually are out. Actually, we have some electrical glue, but it's all dried up, so I've got to get some more and get that good and connected, but it should be okay for the moment to go ahead and get this put up. But we're almost ready to start picking this guy up.
Look at that cheater bar.
Well, the instructions told me to.
Oh. Here, let me hold this instead
I
of
think
you
that's
pulling the
good.
blade.
Like, it's pushing the little
The plastic.
gasket.
Yeah.
I don't think you want it to be, I mean, whatever you think.
I mean, as long as it free spins and it isn't falling off. Hi.
Send it.
Lord have mercy.
Alright, little cap.
Okay.
She's ready. Are we ready?
Probably not, but you know,
Are
we're gonna send it just like you said.
Yeah, we'll see. Alright, so we successfully got the windmill up. It was not easy, as you'll be able to tell from our video. We're gonna have to edit the audio out of that because some choice words are said by both parties. But it's up there. We didn't break it. We didn't hurt ourselves. Still have the strapping to put on and the wiring to do, but hopefully that will be simpler than all the rest of that. Yeah. It's really not been that difficult. It just, we're racing against sunlight, as you can tell.
It's also clunky.
Which is never really a great idea, but
it's top heavy and heavy overall. So, you know. You also might notice it's uncomfortably close to the Starlink. So we're going to try and avoid that.
Yeah, that's why we got the broomstick out. I think it looks like we've got about 3 inches. The Starlink faces the other way, so I don't think it'll be an obstruction, but we'll find out. It's the best place to put it because that's where our ground rod is in the ground on that side, and also the cable, all the solar stuff is right in there. So it's the easiest way to get all that secured and wired up. So we'll see. All right, so we've got our cable coming from the windmill right here. It's important to not install this when it's actually windy. For obvious reasons, electricity could be running through this as you're hooking it up. So just make sure you do it on a non-windy day and non-rainy day. So I've gone ahead and disconnected this little cable. So I think the plan is going to be to put the charge controller probably somewhere next to our fire alarm, and then the little breaker on that side. I think that'll be a good plan. I'm going to kind of get up there and hold them up, see if I like it. Alright, so I got the charge controller and the breaker, or what's it called?
Dump load.
Dump load set up here. We are gonna have to turn off our power from the batteries in order to get this wired up. So I don't know how much of that we will be able to record, but we'll try with some lights and things. I'm also gonna go ahead and make the crimp connections for all of this real quick, so we'll take some videos of that as well. So we are going to be shutting off our inverter now, so it's about to get dark. But basically, we've got a cutoff switch here that goes to the batteries, and this is our distributor. It's basically like a bus bar. So that's where we're going to be plugging the power from here from the batteries essentially to our charge controller. So I'm going to cut it all off now. And then I've got to cut this off because the batteries are still going to here, so you can see the power button, or the power is still on. So that should be going off soon. Maybe.
There it goes.
Well, power's still.
Yeah.
I guess the battery. No.
Well, it's residual power within the wires.
Yeah, but how long?
There it goes.
Okay.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with electricity, wires carry current even after you turn the power source off for a short amount of time, which is also why sometimes you'll get a little tingle from neutral wires when you're wiring up 120 volt plugs, because the current is still existing in the wire and it basically tries to dump whatever free electrons are left in there.
All right. You want to show them inside of that, Pat?
Yep. All right.
That's what we've got going on in there. Lots of wires.
Yeah, lots of stuff. So
and our battery monitor here that goes to this guy, which is off right now because the batteries are turned off, and this is actually a it's like a little jumper wire that way, so we don't have the I can't remember what it's called right now, but I'll put it on the screen, a little connector that goes to this, so we okay, we do have an open circuit. I was like, oh yeah, we just put a fuse on there, I forgot. But yeah, so there's another part of the system that you need in order for the lights to work properly, but I'll post a link to the video that showed me how to do this to allow it to work to where we would know if one of these fuses busted. Because if you don't have that other Victron component, it just is always red. It still works, but it shows you like all the fuses are busted. So this allows us to basically bypass that from 12 volts to 5 volt, I think it's 12 to 5 volts, so that it reads it as it's working and it's connected to that other bus bar thing that is required for that to work. So.
Yeah, it's just a shunt system that doesn't waste power, but still allow us to double check all the fuses are good.
All right, so we've got everything wired up now, and I'm gonna turn the battery back on, and we'll see what's gonna happen. Oh, by the way, the 3 wires that come from the windmill, it doesn't matter where they go. Well, it does, but there's no like specific order for the different colors. It's just they all go in the 3 middle piece. And then the 2 outside, I'll show you a little closer up of that, go to the
dump load.
Here we go. No sparks, hopefully. Turn it
Okay,
on.
we got power. All right, looks like the charge controller is on.
Of course, it's not charging, but there's no wind, so.
Yep.
Turn our inverter on so we can have some light.
Oh.
What?
The Lord said, "Let there be light."
Oh gosh, it scared me.
No. Should have
yeah.
turned my computer off. Whoops.
I think we ask you if you need to turn anything off. I think we'll have to do a little bit of programming on that to set up like our lithium batteries and possibly a couple other things. So
yeah,
we will look at that here tonight because I don't want to leave it on the wrong setting. But yeah, it looks good. I think I mean, it's a little chaotic with all the wires we have going on, but they're easy to access if we ever need to fix anything. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for a windy day now, which I'm typically not. So
I know.
And we get some gnarly wind up here. So, like I said, even if it only produces half of what it's supposed to, that's still basically covering all our bases on any given day, unless we're doing laundry. So
yeah.
I think it'll be a great addition. Pretty excited about it. And of course it's dark now because we got started a little bit late, so we will kind of maybe do a quick run through tomorrow when it's lighter, and also kind of show you the mill once it's spinning. Hopefully before this video comes out we'll be able to kind of show the voltage that it's putting out. We don't have a ton of wind on the forecast. I think we have some days with 11 mile an hour, so we'll kind of see what that does.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't blow ourselves up.
And that's a good thing.
Or hurt ourselves with the windmill.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah. Alright guys, so I'm going to come out here and kind of show you how we have it set up. So, like we showed you yesterday, the power line is coming to this point in the conduit, and then we've switched over to a flex conduit that goes into there, which allows us to get the cable safely into the shed here. I still need to attach this to the building just so it doesn't flop around. Haven't done that quite yet. This little mess over there, that's our Starlink cable. We didn't want to permanently put it in conduit or anything for now because it will be moved to our house once that's built. So it looks a little janky, but that's all right. And yes, our Christmas lights are still up and probably will stay up for the rest of the year. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a little bit windy today, but not enough to really do anything. So, but yeah, seems to be working out pretty well so far. All right, guys, it's been a couple of days since we set up the wind turbine, windmill, wind generator, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's all the same. Unfortunately, we haven't really had sustained winds above about 5 miles an hour, really. We've had a couple of gusts, but, you know, it really has to be like sustained winds for it to actually operate properly. So we haven't really gotten any footage of the windmill operating, nor have we been able to track how much power it's actually producing, but hopefully we will be able to do that in next week's video.
Fingers crossed.
If we get some good winds, which, of course, I've shown you guys videos of the crazy winds we get up here, but throw up a wind turbine and the wind stops, so
yep.
You know, it's how it goes. So, but yeah, we really appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for next week. Hopefully we'll be able to update you guys on this situation here. And as always, we really appreciate you watching, and subscribe if you want to see what happens with the wind turbine.
Yeah, and thanks to ecoworthy again for supplying this for us. We're really excited about it. Hopefully it performs as well as it says it will.
Yeah. Thank you, ecoworthy. And we'll put a link in the description of this wind turbine. You guys can check that out and purchase one for yourself.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.